Who would have thought that in the midst of the incredible euphoria after the BTS World Tour ARIRANG, concert tickets in Brussels sold out in a short time, a simple sentence attributed to Jungkook actually became a hot conversation behind the scenes. How is it possible, when thousands of fans from various European countries are still busy hunting for the last ticket and filling social media with expressions of emotion and joy, the attention of a number of concert organizers is precisely focused on a suggestion that is considered so simple but touching? The question that now makes many ARMY curious: what exactly did Jungkook say? While there was no official confirmation of the conversation, the idea is in line with the message BTS has been sending to ARMY over the years, which is that the relationship between artists and fans is not only built through performances, but also through mutual respect, care, and togetherness. It is this spirit that makes many fans believe that BTS is not just a musical group, but a global community united by shared experiences and memories. Brussels itself witnessed how thousands of fans from various countries were willing to travel long distances to watch BTS live. Various ARMY communities hold meetings, experience sharing events, to small social activities that show the strong bond between fans. This phenomenon further confirms that the BTS World Tour ARIRANG is not just a series of concerts, but a global cultural event that brings together many people from different backgrounds. The atmosphere of Brussels at the beginning of July 2026 is difficult to describe in ordinary words. The city, which for several days was filled with purple light-stick ARMY bombs, as well as a sea of fans from various countries, seemed to turn into the center of attention of the international music world. Even before the stadium lights came on, fan enthusiasm had cracked various predictions. When the official announcement stated that the tickets for the first and second day of the concert at King Baudouin Stadium had been sold out, many thought that the most emotional moment had already happened. However, is it really so? Or is it precisely the most touching story that happened away from the camera spotlight? Behind the hustle and bustle of a concert billed as one of the biggest K-pop shows ever to take place in Belgium lies a story that has left some staff and organizers speechless. The story was not about sales figures, nor about audience records, but about a simplistic view of what a concert means to fans. If this story really portrays the characters Jungkook is known for, then it's no surprise that many people say that BTS's greatest strength lies not only in their music, but also in the way they look at the fans who have supported their long journey over the years. Based on official information, the BTS World Tour ARIRANG concert in Brussels is one of the most anticipated stops on BTS's World Tour in 2026. The two shows that took place on July 1 and 2 at King Baudouin Stadium reportedly sold out very quickly, showing ARMY Europe's high enthusiasm for BTS return to the world stage after several years of vacuum as a full-fledged group. In a creative scenario envisioned by many fans, when the organizers are celebrating a huge ticket sales success, Jungkook is not directly talking about records, profits, or statistical achievements. Instead, he offered a simple suggestion to the committee: make sure that the experiences of fans who fail to get tickets are cherished and remembered. When the news that the two shows of BTS World Tour ARIRANG in Brussels were officially sold out spread around the world, many people thought that the work of the concert organizers had finally entered a calmer stage. However, the reality is quite the opposite. Behind the scenes, dozens of event coordinators, security staff, spectator traffic controllers, and stadium operations teams face far greater challenges than simply ensuring the show is a success. They had to face one surprising fact: the number of fans who wanted to come to Brussels turned out to be far beyond the available capacity of the stadium. According to Creative Reconstruction, Jungkook proposed that the organizers expand fan activity around the concert area, expand ARMY's interaction space, and ensure that anyone who comes to Brussels to experience BTS's atmosphere can still take home precious memories, even if they don't make it inside the stadium. The suggestion, in a story circulating among fans, left some staff surprised and touched that the attention was not focused on the stage, but on the people outside the stage. It was in an atmosphere of both pressure and excitement that a story arose that later became the subject of conversation among many fans. In a creative reconstruction that circulated in the international fan community, Jungkook was told to give a view that made some of the committee silent. Instead of asking about the number of spectators, sales, achievements, or records that have been broken, he is actually called asking the condition of the fans who did not manage to get tickets. That simple question, according to a growing narrative among fans, sounds like something very typical of an artist who understands the meaning of his fans' support. Is there a way that those who come all the way to Brussels can still feel happiness? That's the picture of the question that many soldiers imagine when discussing Jungkook's figure behind the concert stage. Whether or not the conversation was true has never been officially confirmed. However, what is interesting is how thousands of fans from different countries actually feel that the story is very likely to happen. Throughout BTS's more than a decade-long journey, the relationship between the group and ARMY has often been described not just as a relationship between artist and audience, but as an emotional connection built through long journeys, hard work, and mutual respect. Brussels itself on Sunday concert turned into an incredible social phenomenon. Hotels around the stadium area experienced a surge in bookings. The metro station and transport links to the King Baudouin Stadium were filled with fans coming from France, Germany, the Netherlands, England, Italy, to various countries outside Europe. The color purple dominates almost every corner of the way to the stadium. The light stick army bomb was seen in the hands of thousands of people who had not even entered the concert area. For some fans, a trip to Brussels is not just a trip to watch a concert. Some have been saving for years. Some travel more than 10 hours by train. There are also those who are willing to take time off work to witness the historic moment when BTS finally performed for the first time in Belgium. All those sacrifices create an emotional atmosphere that is hard to explain with ticket sales figures alone. That's why, when the story about Jungkook's concern for fans who didn't get tickets started to be discussed, many ARMY members admitted that they were touched. For them, it is not about whether the story really happened exactly as it was told, but about the value contained in it. The value that every fan counts. The value that happiness is not always measured by who manages to sit inside the stadium, but also by who has tried hard to come and be part of the experience. Meanwhile, the organizers of the concert in Brussels are known to have set up various additional facilities to help manage the flow of large numbers of spectators. Special transportation information, shuttle services, entrance arrangements, and various safety guidelines are published in detail to ensure a safe and comfortable concert experience for all fans. Not a few entertainment industry observers consider the success of BTS World Tour (ARIRANG) in Brussels to be one of the clearest indicators of BTS's strength in their new era. However, in the midst of all the spectacular achievements, the most talked about story is not about the stage technology, the number of tickets sold, or the amount of concert revenue. The most talked about was a simple idea: how to make someone feel appreciated, even when they didn't manage to earn a place in the stadium. Perhaps that is the reason why BTS remains a very special place in the hearts of millions of its fans. Because behind the magnificent stage lights, perfect choreography, and constantly breaking records, there is always a message that is much simpler but more meaningful: that everyone who comes with their hope, their time, and their love deserves to be appreciated. And when the second night of BTS ARIRANG World Tour concert in Brussels finally comes to an end, with tens of thousands of ARMY soldiers raising their army bombs into the Belgian night sky, perhaps not everyone will remember the ticket sales figures or audience statistics. However, many people will remember one thing: the feeling that they have become part of something much bigger than a concert.